Hello, guys. So, again, welcome back to technology. So, today we're going to see the JavaScript versions, and we are continuing with our series. Okay. So, what are JavaScript versions? So, there are as you can see, there are some versions here. So, we have ES1, ES2, ES3, ES4, ES5, ES6, ES next. Okay. So these are few versions. ES1 is in 1997, ES2 is in 1998. Something is selected here. Okay. ES3 is 1999, ES4 is there is nothing here. I don't know why there is nothing. But ES5 is in 2009, ES6 is 2015, ES dot next is JS. Okay. So these are few versions, so you don't need much about this. Okay. This is just like for namesake. We are learning it for namesake. Okay. So now let's continue. So let's see the JavaScript written statement. These are very important concepts. Okay. So the JavaScript written statement is used to stop the function's execution and optionally return a value to the caller. So as we all know, we know what return statement is. Okay. So no need to a written statement generally if there is an execution, what it does is it stops the execution at that line. So whatever we told it to return, it just returns that to the user. Okay. So if there is nothing we want to return, it just doesn't return anything, but it stops the execution there. Okay. So that is return statement. So let's I feel like it's better to learn some examples, or let me it's better to learn some examples about this. So let me demonstrate some examples for you. Okay. So let me open VS Code real quick. Okay. So this is I have to close all this. Okay. So let's take a function first. Okay. So to demonstrate the return statement, let's take a function first. And in the parameters, let's give some values like a comma b. And now let's try to return something a into b, for example. Okay. So after that, let's print console dot log of. We are function calling here. We are calling the function. It just calls the function. So let's give 640. Okay. So now let's try to run this. 84. Look at that. Okay. 16 to 14, 84. So that's how return statement works. So you can even return like multiple values using the object. So for example, let's take function language. Let's take for example. Okay. So in the parameters, we are not giving anything. So now we are writing some variables. First equal to HTML. Okay. Second equal to CSS. And third equal to, let's say, JS, JavaScript. Okay. So now let's close this function and close this. So now let first comma. So in this, what we are doing is here we are trying to create. It's like we are trying to here we have to write. We want to return something, right? So let's write return statement. Okay. So this is here. Let's try to write written first, second, third. So we are asking it to return these variables. First variable, A variable called first, variable called second, and variable called third. We are asking it to return these. So, so now we are closing this. Okay. So now what we are doing here is we are trying to take create something like create an object maybe. Okay. So now we are yeah we are function calling here. We are creating an object and let's function call. So let's create an object called first, second, third. So in the object we have these elements first, second, third. So with these elements, we are calling a language. This object is equal to this method. That means we are calling this method, and the values here, whatever the values we have here, get stored in this. Okay. So now let's try to do console.log of first. Okay. So now again we are like trying to print each object here. So let, as we all know, what is let has function scope, right? So yeah, so that means we can't access it out of the function. But what we are doing here, we are storing this in this one and we are accessing it. Okay. So now let me close this. We are storing it in the elements of the object and we are trying to access it. Okay, let me run this. Oh my god, there is an error. Okay, what's the error here? Let first equal to history. Okay, so yeah, so what we are doing here is using the let, we are declaring the three variables. Okay, so yeah. Oh my god, what is error here? First, second, third. Okay, okay. I've done mistake here. I think it's the mistake. Yeah, it's the mistake. Okay. I've defined it with a capital letter, but or initialized it or declared it with the capital letter, but here I gave small letters. That's why that's the mistake here. Okay. So what we're doing here is generally we can't access the variables of let outside the function. So now how we are accessing it? By calling the function. By function calling it and storing these values in the values of the object. Okay. So next. So even we can return the variable, like return a function without return statement or by not putting anything in the return statement. Okay. So for example, let me demonstrate. So for example, let's write a function. So I'm not putting any return statement here. Let me remove all these values. Okay, remove all these values. So now I have like an empty function. We have nothing here. There is no return statement. So let me create another function which has return statement. It's called language one, for example. So let's try to return statement, just a return statement without anything. Okay. So I'm closing it. So now language. Okay. Let me call this. So here, let's take language one. Language one. So now let's try to run this. So we have two here, undefined, undefined. So that means we didn't define a return statement. That means we didn't told what to return here in the first statement. There is no return statement. In the second statement, there is a return statement, but we didn't define what to return. Okay, it doesn't know what to return. So that's why. So that's it. So that's what is happening here. Okay. So next, yeah, this is everything. Okay, here we have like written value. So what that means, this is the syntax is written value. So that means we specify in the in the place of value, we specify what to return here. Okay, right. That's it. So that's everything about the written statement. So I want to make short and sweet videos. So next I'm going to discuss about the break statement, which is also a really important concept. So these are pretty basic, basics. Um, okay. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. And bye.